back, folks. This is Stein North, and this is part 7 of our lean-to series. I came out here a little earlier today to get started on things. Last night, well, yesterday it started by raining. Then the temperatures dropped, and it turned to freezing rain, and then it turned to snow. And we got, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch of snow overnight. But everything froze up. It froze solid, so it stuck to everything. Everything's soaking wet, and it's got ice and wet snow on it. And they're saying another 3 inches tonight, so it's going to keep getting colder, and the snow's coming. So the lean-to got its first snow. Well, I've been a little busy. In the last episode, I had said that I had brought in a bunch of boughs and didn't have time that day. The sun was setting, so I didn't have time to get the boughs up. And I added a few to the end over here. And then today, I threw the boughs on this end. Now, I'm going to need more boughs. I thought I had enough. I have to take one more trip out, collect some more boughs to finish off this end. It's not quite as thick as I want it to be, but it's close. It's close to finished. I also rigged up my awning, as you can see, and it works quite well. I got 3 poles that I'm using through the grommets to hold it out. I've got it lashed on the inside over on this end of it, on the foot end of my bunk, so that it holds it pretty rigid. But yet it's easy to take down, and I can roll it up underneath the eave. So when I don't want the awning, roll it up, get it out of the way. When I want the awning, put it out. Now, when I came out here, everything's covered in ice and snow, right? This whole area was solid white. It was covered with snow, and as you can see, it's kind of muddy in here right now. I got a fire going, and it's melting everything in here. And it's turning it into kind of a sloppy mess in here. So the nice thing, though, when I got out here, there was snow and ice up to about 6 inches from the bunk. Nothing on that bunk. The bunk was bone dry. Everything under it still bone dry. That end over on that side had a little bit of snow in there, but nothing to speak of, very little. This end had quite a bit in it because, of course, it wasn't finished. Didn't have any boughs on it, so it just went right through the uprights, and there was a lot of snow on the ground. That's starting to melt out of there. It's getting completely melted out. It's amazing how much. I just got a small fire going today. I don't have a big fire. Got a small fire going, and it's melting all of this. When I sit back in that bunk with this awning up, I can't believe how much heat this shelter is collecting. It is so comfortable in there. You can feel the heat from this small fire. Now imagine if I have a long fire going and I've got a serious set of flames going. I'm going to be toasty warm in there. It'll be t-shirt comfort in there. Another thing I did, I found that last time I did a video, on my way out, I found another piece of half a cedar, old cedar that had rotted ages ago, and it's a half round, and it's light, just like that top piece I put on, and I put it on that end. You can see it there, and you can see how that was solid white and covered with ice and snow on top of the ice. And that's already melting off of this small fire. That's already melting off. It works great as an edge cap for my boughs on that side. I'm a little less worried about any embers blowing from my fire and hitting those boughs now with that on the side. So I always keep my eyes open, and I hope I find another one that I can put on this side. I'd love to put one on this side. They'd finish the shelter right up. So, actually, I have to say, I consider the shelter complete. Now all it takes are improvements. And that's the thing is as you put these things together, you'll find there's things that you wish you had done differently. Do it. Just keep improving upon it. Make it better. Just keep adding, doing whatever you feel is necessary to improve upon your shelter. Like I'm going to bring more boughs in. I want a little more coverage on this end. I don't know if you can on the video or not see, but I can see daylight through that back corner. I want to get rid of that. I don't want to be able to see daylight through that. And then this end needs about another 6 inches of boughs on it. And this end will be nice and thick and tight too. And then the shelter's done. So I'm going to bring those boughs in kind of at my leisure and add them as I go. But now my next step is I'm going to start some serious fire in this fire pit over the next few days. And I'm going to try to dry this site out. I want to get everything dried out. I want the inside of my shelter dried out. I want all of this dried out. And I'm going to try to use this often enough. And I'm going to put... There, now we're back up and running. Modern technology. My camera does not tell me when the batteries are getting low. It just quits. And that's just what it did. So, here we are, we're back. I'll try to take off where we left off. So, what I was going to say is what I'd like to do in the future, not too far down the road I hope, is I want to cut a bunch of small poles, probably about 2 inches around, and they'll probably be about 6 feet long. And I want to do the whole shelter from this outer front edge all the way back under my bunk with those poles side by side and actually make a floor out of small poles. So I've got that wooden floor instead of the bare ground. That wooden floor will dry out faster. If it does get water in there, it'll be under that wooden floor. It won't be on top of it. It'll make it much cleaner, much easier to maintain. So that's one of the projects I'm going to take on to improve the shelter. And but now we're getting to the point where I think I'm going to have to start spending some time out here, and we'll have to start doing some lean-to videos on some bushcrafting instead of just building. So there it is, folks. There's Stye's home away from home. I'm going to enjoy this one. This is going to be an enjoyable shelter to use. I've built plenty of shelters in the past, but I really like the way this one worked out. It's a nice little shelter. I'll get a lot of use out of it this winter. And if I'm not using it this summer, maybe some of my clients will want to use it. But it's going to get a lot of use, I'm sure. So I thank you all for watching. Come back again. Keep watching this series because we're going to have a lot going on now out at the lean-to now. Now it's not just the lean-to. It's going to be a lot of other things. So here we go. Improvements, future projects. That's where we're headed. From Jim and Rory and of course Stye. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Leave your comments. I love the comments. And you all have a nice day. Happy camping.